Okay, last question on this review is question number 12. Just like 10 and 11, it's asking if this is a factor of this. Essentially, we have x minus 5. P of x is 2x cubed this time. My highest power is 3 minus 13x squared plus 13x plus 10. Having a higher power of 3 just means that our box is going to be just a little bit longer, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. So to answer this question, we have to take p of x divided by x minus 5. And to do that, you need to take your division term, change that negative 5 to a positive 5, and start building up the box. Okay, now notice that we're going to have, instead of 3 coefficients, like all of our quadratic questions before on 10 and 11, we had 3 coefficients. Now we're going to have 4, 2, negative 13, 13, and 10. So that 2 comes from the coefficient of x cubed, so we'll write that first. Negative 13x squared, the coefficient is negative 13. And the x term, the coefficient is 13. And then my ones place is just a 10. Okay, I'm going to draw my remainder box, and remember that this is really what is going to answer the question yes or no once we find out what the remainder is. Just to keep track of things, I'm going to record x cubed, x squared, x, and 1 on top of these numbers, so that way I can draw a conclusion here at the end. You'll see what I mean. Same step as always, bring the first term straight down. Take that 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Add these two terms straight down, so negative 13 plus 10 is negative 3. Okay, take that negative 3 times 5. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Add these two terms straight down. 13 plus negative 15 is negative 2. And this is convenient because when you take negative 2 times 5, you get negative 10. Add these straight down, and you get a remainder of 0. Okay, why that's important is because remember, if the remainder is 0, then the answer is yes. And if the answer is yes, you have to write p of x as a product of two factors. So that's what we'll have to do next. Back to what I was saying earlier, x cubed, x squared, x, and 1. Remember that your quotient here, the answer you get out after the division, is going to have 1 less power in each place for these coefficients. So instead of x cubed, this will be my x squared coefficient. This will be my x coefficient, x to the power of 1. And this negative 2 will be my 1's place. So when we write this, we just have to combine all these terms. This will be 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. So we can just rewrite that factor as 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. So to write p of x as a product, it's pretty simple. You just take the division term first, so we'll have, and actually I'll write it down here, p of x equals x minus 5. Okay, that'll be my first part of the product, the factor that we were dividing by in the first place. The second part of my product is just going to be the answer we got, the quotient that we got out from the division. So this is going to be 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Okay, so the answer is yes. And we rewrote p of x as a product of the two factors that we got out of the division. Remember that this quiz is going to be on Tuesday. You're allowed to use this quiz review on the quiz itself. I'm not going to post a key because these videos are going to encompass what the key should be. Make sure that if you don't get these finished in class that you watch these videos at home. Make sure you have that quiz review because I will let you use it on the quiz. Subscribe.